Good morning from Wilmington, Ohio. We are at the Crown Hill Golf Course and we have a set of irons to test. Mizuno has graciously sent me some hot metals and some hot metal pros. Today we're going to test the hot metal pros. I've got a 5, a 7, and a pitching wedge, and we're going to put them through the conditions. When we get done here, we'll go back inside the house and we'll show you how it's done. So I've already hit my drive. Let's go see what happens. All right, so as far as we went, for a missed shot, it was right at 190, 200. And normally I would think a 4 is about a 200 to 210 shot. So not bad for miss. Now, it felt a bit muted, got it off in a little bit in the open, but the results are pretty good. Even both shots, I'm like 2 paces away from each one of them. So not a bad result for that, right? So not bad. It may be worth something to try, and it does exactly what it says. It is a high flyer. So let's go hit some more balls. This is the land of people that don't repair their divots. So we're going to help them out a little bit. All right. Okay. All right, so now we're in a par 3. It's about 150 to 140 yards long. However, it is downhill. So a pitching wedge normally should do all right here. So we just happen to have the pitching wedge, and it's the Mizuno Hot Metal Pro pitching wedge. Now, if we take a look at this, it's a departure from the last 2, maybe even 3 generations. All right, you see that the back end is more filled in, giving it that hollow body perspective, or a very shallow cavity, as the case may be. Now, what I see here differently is from the previous models is that they used to have a chrome piece here in order to make the sole be thinner. Okay, in this particular instance, it's been beveled and it's all one color now, and it doesn't have that appearance. I truly believe that the sole is thinner on this one. Now the top line is as it was. There's very little offset on this guy, as it's supposed to be. It's the pro model, right? And in this guy we have the Dynamic Gold 105 S300. So let's see if we can get on the green. I do believe I'm on, and I thinned that one a little bit. So there is a little bit of forgiveness in this. This is not a harsh feeling club whatsoever, even on the miss. And I can tell you it wasn't solid. It wasn't, not necessarily solid, it wasn't a really good strike. And I got out there and it still kept its trajectory, and it still kept the path that I wanted it to be on. So yeah, this thing's turning out to be a pretty good day and a pretty good club. Let's go see how we turned out. All right, so the pitching wedge was pretty doggone short. It hit about 3 yards away from the hole and rolled away from it, because that's the topography of this thing. Now, off topic of club repair, this is a par 3. People are landing bombs in here. People, use a damn divot tool. Fix your divots so everybody else can enjoy this doggone game. About a 12-footer. It's going to go left to right. Got to get past all the dew. Actually, it's going to break to the right or left. I mean, okay. Here we go. Oh, 2 inches. Not too bad. Tap in par. We'll take that all day. All right, let's go to the next hole where we're going to have maybe a chance to hit another club. Let's go check it out. Welcome to number 12. 12 is a par 4 that is quite short, only because they've had to make tee boxes grow out, and the actual tee boxes, if you see that opening, you have to basically go about 2 stories into the air, and that's where they're at. So you have a very narrow window of opportunity in order to go through all that, get over this, and then get past that mound that's over there on the left in order to get in that clearing. And what it became was a bit of a task to get up and down, so we're hitting from down here now. Those guys aren't afraid of anything. They were standing there looking at me the whole entire time. We'll sit down that and see what we get. There they are. Let them go through. So I got a pretty decent drive out of this one. I'm inside 140 or inside 150, probably closer to about 130-ish. However, this is all uphill. You need to add about 2 clubs, and that's going to give me the perfect opportunity to try out my 7-iron. Now again, the 7-iron has the same look as the pitching wedges, all of them, as you can see right here. Again, the cavity is filled. The sole appears to be just slightly wider, okay, than the pitching wedge, which you would think it would go the other way. Well, that's their design. Again, we're sporting the Dynamic Gold 105 S300. 105 S300, and this has the Lampkin UTX Plus grip. Now this is the corded variety, and it seems to be a very less tapered grip. Is that really something? A taperless grip? No, a grip with less taper. There we go. Anyway, we got to give it a little bit of oomph to be able to get it up there, so let's see what we can do with a 7-iron. Well, get on. Oh, that was struck pretty doggone good. That was the middle of the club face kind of shot, you know, where it's very, very soft. This is coming off like a forged iron almost in feel. There must be something in the back here that's muting that particular feel, but that one was pretty good, to the point I hit the middle of green. I'm probably on the back or just slightly off the back. Good shot. So let's go check it out. Okay, so that 7-iron hit just like I thought. It hit way up here in the middle. We'll have to fix that divot here in a second. Matter of fact, let's go get it now. See if it left a divot, for that matter. Yep, it did. Not bad. About 3 foot from the hole. I like that. Hit there and then rolled away. So this is all a downhill. I'd normally chip if it was the other way, but since this thing is massively downhill, we're putting. Oh, Nelly. This is number 14. It is a par 5. It is 527 from the blues, which is way back there. I am not playing the blues. I am playing the whites, and the whites are a 510-yard par 5. So if you notice up there in the middle, what it does is it goes and dog legs to the left a little bit. So we're going to hit a ball up there and see what kind of club we can hit after that. All right, I'm just inside the 250 marker, and I do have a club I would probably try and chase it up there with, but we're testing some golf clubs. So we're going to give the HI FLI, another shot and just see how far we can get into the club. Now, a little bit nicer lie angle. I think we're going to be in pretty good shape after we've been, 3 or 4 holes into it. Let's try it. Idea here is to put myself into the middle of the fairway for a good second shot. Now this one has the UTX as well, but it is the rubber grip, not the corded grip. With the 95-gram steel shaft, this does have a closed face. For those of you guys that don't like that, you'll be puking, but the rest of us, it's actually a pretty good little setup. Particularly, it puts your hands forward of the ball, and that's really what you want when you're talking about these types of hybrids. I got a hold of that one. Oh, I got hung up in a tree. Okay. Well, let's go see where we finished. Let's go do that one. Oh, man. As we get out of this jungle. So, so what happened was that it hit this tree, this guy, and the tree collected it, and there it sits. So, however, the tree is sitting at about 50 yards from the pin. So when we said we were at 250, this is actually a 200-yard club. It was hit pretty decent. Now, the other one that I hit that you saw was more of a drawish, and it got obviously a little bit better bounce, and I was able to get out there, but I was closer to 40 yards in there. So this is that 200, 210, and not even swinging very, very hard. Gotta like that. All right, this is one of those don't try this at home kind of shots. I actually hit a really good shot off the tee. I'm about 160, 165 from the pin, and not too bad for a 416 shot. So, but this is all downhill. So this is going to play significantly shorter. It always does, and the front of this is always hard. Normally I would take something like a 9-iron, but we're testing the pitching wedge. So let's give this thing a ride and see where it goes. Grass is in great condition on this hole. A lot of green to work with. The idea is land it in the front and just let it get down there. Let's see what we get. I pulled it. Well, not real bad. I think I might be just a hair short of the green. Let's go find out. So it just goes to show you what I know. Apparently, I hit up here, there's my divot, and I rolled all the way to the back. Now, this green slopes down this way and got a gully in the middle, and that's an expectation to roll some. This is pretty impressive to get back this far. So, not bad. In fact, I can see the trail. I can see the trail in the dew where I go. So not too bad. So let's see if we can get this thing in the hole. So what's your name?
What is it?
What's your name?
Evan Ader.
Evan Ader. Well, glad to know you, Evan.
Yep.
An education, huh? Mm-hmm. We like that. Very cool.
High school history.
Oh, very well done. Mm-hmm. All right, glad to see it.
Yep.
Well, this is Evan. He made the sand traps what they are today, and they actually professionally done. I don't know if it got on screen, but buddy, I appreciate it. So this is hole number 17. It's a par 3. It's 170 yards. Again, all downhill to a fairly generous green, to be sure. You just got to get it down there. And if you flare it right or left, you're going to pay for it. So today, I would normally hit an 8-iron. However, we're testing this, and all I have is a 7. So we're going to take a little bit off of the 7 and go from there. Let's see. Let's get some grass. Here we go. That'll work. Alrighty. I'm going to choke down. Now the thing about this 7-iron, it's a little long, So I've been choking down just a little bit, and this grip has a line that I've been using to use as a guide. We'll see if we can make this thing go. Well, I chunked the crud out of that one. And there it goes off to the left. I'm going to pay for that one, guys. That's what I get for letting go. Let's see. There's a better shot. All right. Works better when you follow through. All right, so my drive, although not bad, is not good either. It careened off a tree, and I'm sitting about, I'm gonna say right in the middle, between 175 and 180. And normally that's about a 6-iron for me, but we haven't had a chance to hit the 5, so we're gonna choke down on the 5 and hit one out there, and then see what happens. Now, the 5-iron has just a hair more offset, again, a little bit thicker sole. I guess that's so that you don't, there's no guessing, it's so that you don't chunk it when you go to hit it. Now, the one drawback from the 5, other than a lot of people have a struggle to hit it, is that they made this one longer. This is 38 3/4 or 38 1/2. It's a little bit too long. So we're going to choke down even more on this, try and take a little bit off of it, because this should be about a 200-yard club, 190 to 200. So we're going to take a little off. Now, the coolest here, before we get started, I want to thank Crown Hill for allowing me to video on their golf course. The course is in great shape. Ohio has experienced some incredibly hot weather, and a lot of golf courses have lost their fairways. They're crunchy, they're dirt, it's not good. And you can see behind me, I'm on a field of green. These guys have been doing a very nice job maintaining this golf course. The new owners that have been here for going on 2 years now have made incremental improvements that makes this one of the places people want to come see. So if you're in the southern Ohio area, I would look up Crown Hill Golf Course for certain. Now, if you look right behind me over here, there's a pond. So there's all you know, it's just not trees and birds here. You have topography that you have to maneuver around. We saw as Evan that was maintaining the sand traps for the very last day today. He's going back to college. So we now have sand, we have undulations, we have all kinds of stuff. So it's a challenge, but it's still fun. So let's get this thing done. There's the golf shot. All right, I chickened out completely. I chickened out completely because I didn't want to go into the water, but let's see how far it really would have went. So from a Mizuno point of view, we're going to be fighting some traffic noise here, but from a Mizuno point of view, I actually ended up about 10 yards beyond the green, so it hit pretty good, it hit pretty solid. You got to hit it though, and it slid through, but you got to take that full swing, and a pretty solid club. Again, I'm not a fan of the added length, however, that's the way they designed it. So, thank you to Crown Hill for letting us on. I would definitely, if you're in the market for a new set of irons, these Mizuno Pros have really got something to look at. Now, let's go back in there and let's do some in-house testing.
All right, I have to apologize for my voice. I have an attack of bronchitis, and it's affecting my throat. However, I want to deliver, so this is pretty good finding, so it's important to get it to you. So I had the HM Pro, or the Hot Metal Pro 5, the Hot Metal Pro 7, and the Hot Metal Pro pitching wedge. As you guys saw, they performed very, very well. Most of my conditions, I would be hitting a different iron, and I had to let off on some. However, what we're going to find is that the irons performed indoors as well as they did outdoors. So let's get started. The number 5 185 to 193. Now, I would like to have seen it going a little bit further, but I hit it very, very well, and it was getting some really good spin rates, and it was just working very, very well. The surprisingly so, the 105 and the S was working, so it's a shaft to be reckoned with. The 7, 165, 175, again, that's right in my wheelhouse, give or take a yard. And as you saw, I actually hit it very well out there on the course. The turf interaction with the sole, I normally have trouble with, and but this time around, the way that the sole was beveled in all three cases, I was able to get through the turf, and it was a good working club. And then the pitching wedge. The pitching wedge was the bigger surprise. Actually, I was able to get it out there a little bit better than I thought. In a lot of cases, you know, when I hit onto the green in applications where I thought I should be there, and I actually hit a little bit further in the applications where I thought I would be short. So if we see, I'm actually hitting the the 7 very well and the pitching wedge in line. So I hit them all pretty good. And for stronger lofted clubs, the spin rates were coming off of it pretty decent. The 7 was a little low, but the rest of them aren't too bad. So let's see how they landed. So as we see as a grouping, you know, pretty good now for getting started hitting again. And then the 7 iron. So if I was to really want to show this off, I would remove this one and this one. That'd be tight. And I would remove these 3, and that would be tight. And then this one as a 5 iron all the way out there. I'd probably keep this one, and that one, and get rid of those. And it would look elongated. However, that's not the point here. The point is to show you that even on the misses, they do still get out there. Their distances are good. You know, normally it's the bonehead that's holding the other end of that club that's causing some of these misses. If we go back out here, here's the pitching wedge. You see I was just pulling the pitching wedge indoors, and outdoors I was pretty doggone straight. If we go to the 5 iron, the 5 iron had a tail of 2 shots. You had a couple up the middle, and then my typical pull, and I'll play that pull part all day long for me. Then we get to the 7. The 7 was kind of a hodgepodge, but it all went in the same area. Alrighty. So what we saw was just like what we saw outdoors. The club was very, very reliable. The feel on these things are outstanding. I have to be for a non-traditionally forged club. It was felt soft at impact, and even the ones that we missed, those guys did very, very well, and they got out there. Now I will say, being a Mizuno fitter, if you want to get the best out of these golf clubs, you are going to want to get fitted, right? You want to go get fit. Go get fit so your patterns will look better than this, and to go further than that, right? And that's what you're looking for. And what you really want to do is get the set makeup so you actually use the clubs that you buy. And I knew Mizuno wants that. I know I want that. And so now that they're out, the question is, would I trade my 23s in for my 25s? I don't know. If you really weren't in love with the cosmetics, then yes. Performance-wise, they're close. The 25s are better, but are there a new set of clubs better? Now, anything prior to them, I would say yes. Okay? If you're looking for a new set of forgiving distance-like irons, these are the way to go. So not to bore you and not so you don't have to listen to raspy me, again, go give them a check out. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe. And as always, let's see your scores go low.